Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now basically the middle of January of 2022 before we get closer to the next episode of the Book of Boba Fett and eventually the very end of the series, which is going to take place in early February, before we move on to the marketing of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, which is all set and ready to begin by mid to late March. It's really not all that far away. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So, what's even all the more engaging right now is exactly what Jon and Dave are up to when it comes to the Star Wars lore. Be it, of course, live action or animated TV projects, or even if it's going to involve books, novels, comics, and video games. Jon and Dave have a lot of creative power over all of that since they got their big promotions over at Lucasfilm just a couple of months ago, all thanks to Bob Chapek. And again, we gotta give some credit to Bob Chapek because this is the guy that's even allowing Jon and Dave to do their thing with shows like The Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano TV series, and more to come as well that will be announced at Celebration this year, which is all going to take place in May. So the thing about all of this is that George, Jon, and Dave, given that they are working together as a trio to really deliver something truly special to the Star Wars fandom, to really give the fans something exciting to look forward to for the next couple of years and beyond. They really want to make sure that the 2020s are going to be very strong as a decade when it comes to Star Wars content in general. So, with that being said, we obviously know that Jon and Dave are going to extreme lengths and really are trying to do the unthinkable when it comes to the franchise, to really succeed within the Star Wars franchise and to really bring it to a whole new level that the fans would have never expected it to reach to than before, of course. Now, on top of this, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their new Star Wars projects like the Ahsoka series and the Kenobi TV show for Disney+, Bob Chapek is also focused on his announcements for the new Star Wars movies that will be unveiled at Celebration of 2022. However, it's described that creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are working on something special and spectacular for a new Star Wars project that is set to do something significant for Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars universe. It's described that for the Rise of Skywalker sequel series, which begins production in 2023, is set to feature characters like Rey, Ben Solo, Anakin, and other characters in a post-Episode 9 era. Both Jon and Dave are preparing to take one of George Lucas's original ideas from Return of the Jedi in order to bring back Luke Skywalker to life in the new show to fight a common foe once more. Now, it's noted that bringing Luke Skywalker back to life is set to involve a brand new Force power that a Force Ghost can use only once that will be applied to the Rise of Skywalker sequel series and will be done so in a temporary matter. So, in case you guys do not recall, George Lucas had this original idea for Return of the Jedi that Obi-Wan Kenobi was going to come back to the life in the flesh, of course, in front of Luke Skywalker, reuniting with Anakin once again as well. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi was set to use a special Force power that was going to be in connection with the Netherworld of the Force that would allow him to come back to life during his time on Endor, celebrating with Luke, Han, Leia, and others out there. Now, the fact that George, Jon, and Dave are bringing that original concept into the equation here to use this for Luke Skywalker in the Rise of Skywalker sequel series is pretty smooth. It's pretty well established, the fact that they are trying to kind of explore all those different avenues of how powerful the Netherworld of the Force really is. And even though it seems very exciting and it does seem very passionate and ambitious by George, Jon, and Dave, the only thing that I think a lot of fans are going to have a lot of problems about this is the fact that, yes, they are preparing for Luke to come back to life in flesh and blood once again to fight a common foe. We'll get to that in just a second. But the thing is, the catch is that Luke is only going to be coming back to life in this series temporarily speaking. Moving on. So, on top of all of that, Palpatine's spirit is described to be just one of the new villains in the new series. However, will be treated as the last villain in the show that takes over the body of a Sith acolyte, much like how J.J. Abrams originally wanted to do in Episode 9. Now, both Jon and Dave are described to be implementing many of the deleted sequences from Episode 9 to be used in the sequel series for Disney Plus, which is still on track for a 2025 release window. Now, the series is set to feature a full-blown fight between the return of Luke Skywalker in physical form, alive and well, to go up against Palpatine's spirit, who takes over a new host body in the series. Now, this is Jon and Dave's way to make it so that the true Skywalkers are the ones who take down Sidious once and for all. And it's something that Favreau always believed in. The return of Luke Skywalker in living form is moving forward, and to be voiced by actor Mark Hamill once again. Given that the series will be in lifelike animated material, it will serve as a bridge between what is live action and what is animated. So, let me just stop right here. So, basically, this new sequel series is going to have lifelike animation. So I want you guys to imagine something very similar to video game cutscenes, and we're going to get into that in just a second as well. They really are trying to create this bridge between what is live action and what is animated, and what really fills everything in between. That's what the sequel series is going to look like, and basically that kind of gives you a better sense of things. It makes it feel more authentic as if it is live action, but at the same exact time, it's not. So, apart from this, Lucasfilm's new series will be like one long series of video game cutscenes, which is the type of animation that they are focused on. In fact, it's described that the animation will be nearly similar to the cutscenes of Star Wars Eclipse, and will bring a return of many beloved characters as well, using many of the unused tracks by John Williams that were never implemented into Episode 9. Mark Hamill has already been in the talks with Jon Favreau about all of this, and is described to be very excited to hop on board to bring Luke Skywalker back to life. The return of Palpatine for a third time is not the first time that this has happened. This also occurred in Dark Empire's comic series from the 1990s, where Palpatine came back to life twice on top of his death in Return of the Jedi. So what's really interesting about this is the fact that we have George, Jon, and Dave taking original ideas from the original scripts of Return of the Jedi and throwing that into the sequel series, and also using some of the abandoned concepts and deleted scenes that we never got to see for Episode 9. That's going to be used as basically a structure or a overall template of how things are going to be done in the sequel series as well. So a great example is Palpatine's spirit being seen and taking over a host body, the Sith Acolyte to be exact. So the fact that they are going to be giving us Palpatine again, but in a totally different way, is kind of fresh and new at the same exact time. I know some fans out there are rolling their eyes right now, like, why would they even want to bring back Palpatine? Well, it's because Jon Favreau feels very antsy that he never really got to see the true Skywalkers take down Palpatine once and for all, how it really should have been. That's another thing that I think a lot of fans were bothered by, is the fact that it was Rey who took down Palpatine, but not Ben Solo, and you have the entire movie about the Skywalker saga in place, yet the Skywalkers, the true ones, did not get to defeat the very person that turned Anakin to the dark side in the first place, and really tainted the Skywalker bloodline right from the beginning. So that's the one major thing that really kind of served as a deal breaker among the fans for the sequel trilogy movies. So overall, I would really like to hear what all of you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.